Co-creation is a very hot topic nowadays, especially in the field of organizational development. Co-creation in the network society, it's becoming such a fundamental part of organizational processes. As we see, participation and the ways of participating in society has been changing very fast, and co-creation can help organizations in reshaping and reorganizing the way they relate to its employees, but as well as how organizations relate to its clients. But before we go into what it is, co-creation, anyways, it's important to make a differentiation here. Lots of people, they talk about co-creation as if this is about putting people together to discover what they think. But what's here, I want to make an important difference, that co-creation for us is much more than putting people together. It's about epistemological understanding of people being relational by nature. So this understanding comes from social constructionism that really talks about how people create reality in their coordination processes, which means that since the beginning of our life, we are co-creating meaning, we are co-creating who we are, the values we have. So in that sense, when we talk about co-creation, we have these assumptions about new meanings being created all the time. So when we are talking about co-creation as a concept, we are very much focused on the concept of humans being relational by nature. Then, by defining co-creation as a concept, we can move to co-creation as a practice. And co-creation as a practice is a creative process that can be designed and facilitated. These kind of creative processes focus on challenging the taking for granted ideas and experimenting new ways of talking, experimenting new ways of interacting. And in that sense, you can create new forms of relations and also interaction among the participants. So in order to provide a creative space and a place in which people really can experiment new ways of engaging and talking about a topic, the facilitator has a very important role, because it's him or her who will help the participants to use their collective imagination to develop these stories together. So as the facilitator, you really have to pay attention at how you're going to design the space, how you're going to let the ideas to emerge, and how you're going to facilitate in this interaction. There are many ways to facilitate in this process, but I will bring one illustration, which is the art of asking questions. This is one very important point that you have to develop as a facilitator of creative processes and co-creation. And one way of triggering the imagination and the collective creativity of your group is to ask unconventional questions, such as, if your organization was a soundtrack, which one it would be? Or if your organization was an animal, what type of animal it would be? Those kind of projective questions really help the participants to go beyond the rational or the analytical conversation and really move into more imaginative ways of talking that ignites the co-creation process. Another way of asking questions is what we call circular questions, which means asking a question that might generate a difference, that might spark creative friction, and in that sense generate new possibilities of understanding and of talking about a specific topic. For instance, if you ask a manager, how long have you been dealing with this issue? This kind of question invites a very rational and fact-oriented answer, which would be the manager would answer 2 months or 3 months. But if you change that into a circular question, the question would look like, to the same manager, you would ask, if I would ask your employee, how long has this issue been around, what do you think they would answer? So this kind of question really stimulates people to open up for multiple descriptions of situations. And also it provides information about the relationship among ideas, among people and context. It really increases the possibility of increase other ways of talking about the same topic. So these are just some illustrations of how you can deconstruct old patterns of thinking about a subject and co-create new meanings, and that really helps in open up transformation in organization.